Hello, welcome back. This is Kenshin 1913.
Along with Ghosty Films.
And we are Let's Playing Hexen.
Yeah.
In the last episode, Dan defeated the Dark Paladin, or the Cleric, or...
Yeah, the Cleric. And
whatever the hell he is. And he died because Dan put him in a corner and forcibly destroyed him.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to,
forcibly destroy things.
Yeah. And his name was Traductus.
Yeah, Traductus.
Yeah.
So it kind of sounds like turducken a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, so he's a cleric wrapped in a duck, wrapped in a something.
Yeah.
And he was delicious, because Dan actually, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Dan actually ate him after he killed him, and he was delicious. He slow roasted him in an oven for about 4 to 5 hours. Took him out, basted him in his own juices, and ate the hell out of him, right, Dan?
Oh, yeah.
It was yummy.
Pete, do you mind if I talk about your family for a moment?
Can I just say one? Yeah. No, wait. Let me go to one thing. All right, one little quick thing, and then we can head into whatever.
Okay.
But okay, so all right, I just want to talk about this thing that I saw today. All right, and granted, you're not going to hear about it because it'll be tomorrow or whatever, or however many days. But I was at the gym today. All right, and I just want to thank whoever decided to invent those pants that are really tight on women's buttocks.
Uh-huh.
Because there was a lady today who had the perfect bootay, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And she was running right in front of me, and I was like, thank you, God. And she had an ass that wouldn't quit, if you know what I mean? And it was quite lovely, and I'm glad she ran for about 20 minutes, and I got a workout boner. It was very nice. And, of course, I'm lying about the boner thing, but her ass was very nice. Like, you could eat a fucking dinner off of that shit. It was lovely. It was fucking great.
Nice.
Yeah, I just have to... Wish I could have took a picture of it. It could have lasted forever. Like, look at this perfect ass. Holy moly. Alright, Dan, go ahead. Talk about my family. It's a terrible segue.
Right.
No, hold on. So I was at the mall the other day, and I saw Pete's family. Okay, go with it.
Alright, so I was at the mall the other day looking at people's buttholes.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of buttholes, like during the break a minute ago, I was taking a poop in Pete's bathroom, and I was listening to Pete the phone.
You're not supposed. Time out. You're not supposed to tell people that you take poops.
Oh.
They're supposed
But the
to
pit
think-
crew was cleaning my butt.
Yeah, well, yeah, because people who listen to this expect us to be more than what we are. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Like I was saying a bunch of episodes ago, like they expect us to not ever poop or pee. Like they think that like we just magically boom, everything's gone. But it doesn't work that way. So yeah, go ahead. You were in the bathroom.
And I was listening to how you were talking to your sister, and I didn't like hear the whole conversation or know what the whole conversation was about, but I noticed you brought up like this grudge that you have from her for like years. Like you were talking about, oh, if you were an adult, you would have been watching Vicky that time when the Christmas tree fell over on her.
Yes.
And that's like a story. If I know like anything about your family, that happened like a long time ago, when Vicky was a baby. And I just love that you have this grudge that you just threw back in her face, like to settle matters from today. Like,
It's great.
Like that's a beautiful thing.
I know. Well,
I love a good grudge.
yeah. Well, when sometimes Dan, when you're a fuck up, right, you end up doing things that you wish you didn't do.
Yeah.
Or that like other people are gonna remember forever, and that was one of them. I guess I'll tell the story.
All right.
Go back many Christmases ago when my little sister was a wee lad, a wee babe, and well, yeah, I said lad. Yeah, she was a lad. All right. We eventually had her get a sex change, and now she's a girl. But no.
She used to be Victor.
Yeah, so we decided to make her a Victoria. She was, how old were you? She was young. She was like 3-4 years old or whatever. Maybe 5. It doesn't really matter how old she was. She was a little kid, alright? My older sister, alright, was supposed to be watching us. And we had a cat at the time that my little sister loved. Her name was Taffy. And she went behind the Christmas tree. And so Vicky decided, or Vicky decided to go back there and go get her. And this was before we used to tie up our Christmas tree, make sure it wouldn't crash over. Actually, I don't remember if I was watching her. I was probably watching TV in the same room, and my older sister was in the other room, not watching us, even though that's what she was supposed to be doing. She didn't watch us. The tree fell. She comes in. She starts screaming. She looks at me. She's like, why didn't you stop her? And I said, I don't know. And then I got the beating of a lifetime for nothing. I didn't do anything. I just, it's not my responsibility. It was damn hers. So then she starts wailing away at Vicky, and I'm just sitting there. I was like, man, I wish Steven would get home because he would help out. And then finally he gets home, and Steven, my brother, he just says, oh, Micah, is it alright if I hang out for another hour? Because he was out rollerblading with his friends or whatever. And Micah's like, no, you can't. And then, and so she was being a huge douchebag. And, if she was just watching my little sister instead of being in the other room watching whatever show she was watching, you know what, Dan? That tree would not have fell. I would not have gotten a beating for no reason. And, she wouldn't have this thing that would be held up against her for forever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm going to hold this. It's not really a grudge. It's just something that I love to bring up.
Whatever it is,
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It is.
It just brings a tear to my eye. How perfect it is.
Yeah.
How resentment just lingers and
well,
festers.
Because I wish if I was more of if I was wiser, I would just tell her to fuck off and like, before she fucking started with me, trying to hit me, I would have just fucking stopped her and be like, nah, no, you should have been in here watching her. Like, I always say, if older me could go back to younger me, like to help younger me out, I would go back to that point. And just as Monica was about to ask me, why didn't you do anything? And I say, I don't know. I would just come in and just start beating the fuck out of Monica. I would just start pounding the fuck. And then I would just say, Vicky, and I would just look at her and I was like, you did a bad thing, and that's it. And then I would be like, go sit out in the corner or whatever. I would just make her go sit down, and Monica would be pummeled on the ground. The younger me would not be beaten up, and I would just say, keep it real, kid. And then I would leave.
And then you'd be wondering who that was till this day until you actually went back in time and made it happen.
Yes.
One day you just discover time travel and you'd be like, whoa, it's all coming together now.
I know. Holy shit, I know the first thing I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? That would be one of the things, seriously, if older me could help out younger me, that would be the fucking thing I would do. And, it would, I don't know if it would change my childhood dramatically, because, I got this beating that I'll always remember because Monica was being irresponsible and not watching.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it would change it dramatically. You know how they always say, any little thing that you do might fuck up, all this big shit, shit might not happen. I think I would still end up being a stupid fat idiot, definitely. What about you, Dan? Let's say you could go back in time and help yourself, your younger self, do one thing, change one thing about your childhood or something, or something like that. What would it be? What would it be? That's a good question, huh?
Yeah, that is a good question.
That would be, I don't know if there's any other point in my life where I'm like, you know what? I wish I did something another way. It's not like a regret. It's just something to help myself out. You know what I mean? It's not usually a regret. It's just something that happened, and it's like, you know what? I wish someone was there to fucking help younger me out, because if someone was there, that shit wouldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So right now, where are we, Dan? In the wizards thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wizard shit.
Oh shit! I almost walked off the cliff because I didn't have my fingers on the right keys. Yeah, I don't know what I would change about my past.
Maybe you would go back in time and tell your younger self not to pee on that one kid. Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, maybe be like, you know what? Why don't I be nice to him instead of pee on him?
Yeah, because one time, did I ever tell this story?
I don't know, but go ahead and tell it anyways.
When I was a kid, I always felt like, like people didn't really like me as a child. Like I was like a quiet kid that nobody really even cared like any about. And I remember like people were always like when I was growing up, like all the other kids seemed like they were real dicks, and they always seemed to be the cool kids. And so I guess I was under this impression that in order for people to like you, you had to be an asshole, and you had to be crazy, or you had to be an asshole. And so I would kind of be like kind of weird sometimes. And there was this kid, you know, this story is actually longer than I remember one time I went over to this kid Nick's house, and there was this kid that came over named Tommy, and Tommy was kind of a weird looking guy. Like he always had this Kool-Aid mustache. He always had
what's a Kool-Aid mustache?
You know, when you're a kid and you drink Kool-Aid and then it just kind of stays like a milk mustache.
But with Kool-Aid, I got you.
Yeah, and he always had one of those. Like one of his eyes was looking in one direction, one eye was looking in the other direction.
Oh man.
And
you peed on this poor kid?
Well, I was like, I don't know, I must have been like 9, but like I said, all the other kids just seemed like assholes, and I thought that's what human beings were, I guess.
Assholes.
Yeah, and you know what? That's actually kind of still reigns true today in a lot of ways. But anyway, I went over to this kid Nick's house, and this kid Tommy came over, and he also had a speech impediment. Like you couldn't really understand what he was saying.
Did this kid ever bother you in any way?
No.
You just peed on him.
Well, no, Pete, let me get to the story.
All right. Well, it's been a long setup. I'm just saying, but yeah, continue.
But anyway, this you know, so I went to this kid Nick's house, and this kid Tommy lived down the street, and you know, he came over, and then this guy Nick just starts kicking him. Like he just starts kicking him, and the kid's crying.
Poor kid.
Doesn't make any effort to defend himself. And this kid Nick is just kicking him. He falls to his knees crying. The kid still keeps kicking him, and then he falls to the ground, like lying on the ground, and this kid Nick is just kicking him over and over again. And at that point I was like, holy shit, like, what the hell just happened? And what I should have done was like,
help them.
Yeah, like this kid Nick is a sociopath. Like that's the conclusion I should have had. And then these guys I always get like into a good story when I have to fight monsters that are gonna beat my ass. But anyway, so like later that day, Tommy went home crying, and then I was hanging out in the front of this kid Nick's house, and then Tommy was up the street, and he calls me over, and then he was saying, how would you like it if nobody wanted to be your friend, if nobody liked you, how would you like it? And I was sitting there like wow, that was pretty deep, and
So you just took out your dick and pissed on him?
No, I didn't pee on him at this particular moment.
Okay.
And
I feel bad for this kid.
yeah, me too. I'm a douchebag for doing what I did.
Yeah.
But I haven't gotten to that part in the story. And so like eventually I kind of learned like that's who this kid was. Like I remember one time my brother was telling this story about how this pretty girl at the bus stop was like pretending that she liked Tommy because and everybody was like laughing at him, and this kid thought like he was like, oh, I hereby declare myself the luckiest man on the face of this earth. And everyone was laughing at him like he didn't realize that she was just like making a fool out of him. And it would like years passed probably where I just saw this kid like get shit on again and again, and like and at the same time like people were picking on me and like being a jerk to me. And so at the time like we went down to this like river where we used to hang out. Like there was this pipe that went under the kind of our neighborhood and ended in this cemetery, and we were like sitting down by the river and just playing and stuff. And like at the time like it was like forming in my head that, you know,
I should pee on him.
No, not that I should pee on him, but that in order for people to like you and be popular, you had to be an asshole and a jerk. And so we were just kind of like making fun of each other and just being a jerk, and it was like escalating. Like, you know how sometimes you're just laughing and like the craziness just escalates to a point of hilarity and insanity.
Like you're laughing, and then the next point you're doing heroin.
Yeah. And so like this kid, we were up on the top part of this river, like where this parking lot was. Of this old like hair salon that was closed down, and like he walked down to the river part where I guess he was building a fort or something with his little friends. And so he ended up getting friends. Yeah, he had friends.
That's good. You know what? Okay.
But like we were in this like state of like hilarity and insanity, and I just like wasn't even thinking, and I just like whipped it out and peed on him, and everyone was just like laughing hysterically, and
Did any of the girls go, "Oh, look how tiny that is," or anything like that?
No, there weren't any girls there to laugh at my my tiny like microscopic penis.
Yeah.
But
that's a good phrase too, microscopic penis. So yeah, continue.
and so that's pretty much it. And then I think
so
about.
you just fucking took it out and just peed on him, like, right? It wasn't like an underhanded piss where you were like.
It wasn't something that I premeditated or that I really. It was just like.
I gotta take a piss. Let's piss on this kid.
Yeah, and it was like I think back about this a lot, and I'm like, wow, I'm a horrible person.
Yeah.
Like I should probably go to hell for this.
You know what, Dan? I'm just thinking about. You ever see that movie Billy Madison?
Yeah, a long time ago. I don't really remember.
So in the movie, basically Billy Madison, when he's in high school and he's getting picked on because he's the oldest guy in high school, or whatever.
Yeah.
What he does is he goes back and he apologizes to all the people that he was an asshole to.
Yeah.
And so he called up Steve Buscemi, who apparently he was being an asshole to, alright? And he was and he said, I'm sorry for picking on you back in high school. I hope you apologize. Maybe we can go out and have coffee sometime. He's like, yeah, that'd be real nice. And then he crossed off on the list of people that he planned to kill Billy Madison. So I think if Tommy Quackenbush is still around, or Tommy, let's just call him Tommy Tom, I don't really know his real name, but if he is still alive, and he doesn't have a list of people that he wants to kill, mainly you and that kid Nick and whatever,
Well, you know what, Pete? If he came to me with an assault rifle and he was like, I'm gonna kill you for the time that you peed on me in front of everybody,
yeah.
I think I'd probably just be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
let's do this. You can.
You know what? I would.
I deserve this. Just right here between the eyes.
No,
like,
see, I would try to negotiate.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, if
No, see,
if you feel that that you need to kill me.
I would try to negotiate to him that shoot me. Don't kill me if possible, because look at your life now, Tommy. It must be pretty good, right? And then when he shoots me in the face, that's my last line. Right?
I guess so.
Bam!
I don't know why this thing
maybe I should have tried to be more persuasive. But, yeah.
Oh, I know. I didn't hit the right thing over here. But anyway, like, Tommy, I kind of made friends with him at a later point in life. Like, I used to work at the supermarket, and he'd come in with his friend. I don't know his name, but we called him Mudrick, because one day Tommy was saying that he came in and he said his friend's name was Mud.
Yeah.
And so me and my brother just started calling him Mudrick for some reason.
Yeah.
And he was kind of this kid Mudrick was a little strange too, because he'd walk around wearing this dog collar, and he let his fingernails grow really long and painted them black. And
you guys sound like pre-Harry Potter guys, Mudrick.
Yeah, maybe.
Someone should be in Harry Potter, but yeah, continue.
But he was really strange, and then they'd come in.
And they smell each other's farts, right?
No, but they would talk about how one day they came in and they were all burned up because they took these aerosol cans and cigarette lighters, and they were having a flamethrower fight. They were like lighting each other on fire and like burning each other. Like, you know how some people would have a snowball fight or like an acorn fight? They were taking aerosol cans and making flamethrowers with the cigarette lighter and burning each other. And I was like, whoa, shit. And they were messed up. And sometimes I wonder,
that's probably because Tommy,
I wonder if like maybe he's screwed up like this because I peed on him that time.
Yeah, you know what? You probably ruined Tommy's childhood and his whole psyche and everything.
I know.
So that kid Nick totally too.
Yeah, well I mean at least I didn't kick him and like beat him and like
laugh
at him while he was lying bloody on the ground.
And you only peed on him in front of all of his friends, and you humiliated him in front of all these girls that he never met.
I didn't humiliate him in front of any girls.
No, well, you know what? You should probably tell him that. You should be like, you know what, Tommy? At least I didn't humiliate you in front of all these girls that you didn't meet at this time.
Yeah, but
you should try to work your way in and be like, you know what? The human can drink their own pee or something like that. I don't know, Dan. You gotta try to find the good in peeing it on him. It builds character.
Maybe instead of murdering me,
maybe shoot you in the leg or something.
No, maybe instead of murdering me,
castrate you.
No, like maybe he just gets one free peeing on me.
Yeah, no.
It's like if he came up to me and he was like, I need to redeem that peeing from all those years ago, I'd be like, you know, all right, pee away.
No.
What?
No.
You think that he should shoot me?
No, I think that he's gonna have to pee on you a lot. Like that one pee.
Like 2 free.
Has gained a lot of interest in, and I want to say it's gonna be maybe 3 to 4 peas.
You're right.
Depending on the rate, depending on the interest rate on that.
I think. Yeah.
I mean, if you get peed on 4 times by this kid, or
You think that would redeem it?
Yeah, definitely. 4 times. I think the going rate for 1 pee back in, when was it, 80 something? Yeah.
Must have been the 80s.
Yeah. So yeah, with the value of pee has gone up quite a bit. So actually, that might bring down the peeing. Let me ask you this, Dan: has the value of pee gone down?
I think it stayed the same. I think it's worthless.
It's still pretty worthless.
Yeah.
And maybe 2 peas. We'll have to figure out this. We'll crunch the numbers between the episodes. Let's see if Dan can kill him. If he can't kill him, then we'll have to stop the episode and leave you on a cliffhanger or something. Go, ooh, you almost, you couldn't absorb Neckler's Manter.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're gonna end the episode here, and Dan will beat Mechlor, or what's his name?
Melkor or something like that?
Malachor. He's part man, part Mal, and then another half a core.
Alright.
This has been Catch 1913.
And go see films.
See you later. Bye-bye.